you.
Yeah, just a second. Hello, everybody. Right, sketching the Hawk Speed 6. Obviously, it's in flight, so it's got a lovely shape to it, and it's fairly simple, really, when you come to think about it. But what I'll do, as I normally do when I start drawing on sketching days and things like that, you just warm up with your pencil, so you get in the frame of drawing. So I just do shapes and things like that, and I use the pressure scale on my pencil because I use a 4B. I'm going to use a 4B. I might use an HB, which is a finer pencil, just to do the digital digits there, just to get those perfect, but I'll probably use that later on anyway. So here we go. I'm just using the pressure lighting all they do, really soft, so you get that lovely sort of density there. Then we have that, then you get different shades just by pressure. So normally, there we go, a little bit of pressure down there like that, then pressure there. So you get all shapes and sizes of pressure, do shapes and boxes and things like that, circles, just to get warmed up on anything, anything cross-hatching, just to get that flick. I use that sort of flick with my pencil drawing, as you may have noticed, like, just the flick like that. So drawing a line, we flick it instead of the straight line like that, because you'll wobble, and 9 times out of 10 you'll probably get a wobble there. So you just flick it, and a flick in between, move you to get that straight line. Just practice with your pencil and flick, straight line, just little waves. Just practice. There you go. I'll just move that, and I'll just show you on here. To start this drawing, you've got to have a sort of, what I do is have a sort of a starting point. Now, the starting point for me would be the cockpit, because the cockpit there will determine the whole size of the aeroplane. So obviously, if you're doing a big one like that, big shape like that, your wings are going to go off the paper. So what you do, mentally sort of determine the size of the cockpit. Just little lines like that, little bump. That's all it is, like that. Then that wing should be about there. This wing should be about there. So it'll be like that. Sometimes you bleed the wing off the paper. Now there's nothing wrong in that, because you'll bleed it off, and you'll bleed this side of the wing, which will make a good composition. And I'll just show you. Okay, right. Let's have a go. Let's have a go. Now, composition. Now, where do we want on here? I'm just trying to do it for the camera, actually. So we're starting there, and my limit would be about there. So that's my paper space. So the line of the wings are there. So I want to start there with my cockpit, I think. There we go. Just do a little, maybe a little bit forward there, just the cockpit there. Just a little line there, like that. So there we go. We've got that. Might be a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. There we go. Little bump there. Comes down there. One line there. Maybe a couple of twigs there and there. Just line your pencil up like that, so you get everything in. That's not bad. Right, now here we go. We've got the engine line there. Just carry that across, just little flicks. And we'll flick that one across. Just little lines at the moment. Just keep measuring up with your pencil so you get a nice straight line. Okay. There we go. I think that wants to come up a little bit there. And we'll nose it off here, shall we? Just little flicks, not definite arcs. I'm just doing little flicks at the moment. Might want to extend it a little bit. We'll have a look at that when we've done just the outline of it, and have a look and see how far we're going. There we go. Just now that line comes down here. Just flick. There we go. Just line them up, line them up. That probably wants to come up a little bit. There we go. Just take that off. Round that up a lot. There you go. I'm quite happy with that. Right, now let's do a curvature of the wing. Wing insert. Then we can do the fuselage line, which is about there. Okay, now let's just do some more flicks. Now we probably, now the tail comes down there. Get the lines right. If you get the lines right, that'll be perfect. There we go. Just little flicks. Now, top of the tail, it's a relationship with the top of the canopy, which is just about there. We're going there, so I think I'm just about right there. Now, once I've done that little curvature on the top, I think I'll just little flicks like that. Little flicks again. Of course, it goes in a curvature like that. So they're only little flicks, only little marks in line with what you can see there. So they're shapes, just shapes. There we go. Let's put it out there a little bit like that. Just one little line comes inside the fuselage like that. The cowling goes there. There we go. Just check your lines. Just little flicks, not drawing the wings at the moment. We're just doing the lines at the moment. We can just get some of the excess off of here. There we go. Let's do a little bracing canopy. Let's make it more round and three-dimensional. There we go. We've got a little bar coming across there, and that little bar there, because I think that's about right there. Maybe a little bit up top. Right. Now, that comes from where that bar is. I'll do a couple of lines. The wings. Just check the just sweep them off. There we go. Now, to follow the lines, that line through there. The line of the wings just around there, I think so. Let's have a look. Oh, this is where it gets a little bit awkward with the hand. Just flick it on. That's about there. There we go. Now, I think that's a little bit thicker. Now we're getting a little bit, add a little bit more line there. Could be a little bit more there. See, when you do that, you're doing a guideline as well. When you're not actually doing a hard pencil, just doing guidelines. Now, if you look back, there we go. There we go. Now just look back and see if you're on the right track with your drawing. I might do little bits like the rudder lines, like that. Maybe the just little lines like that, little lines all over the place. There we go. Just checking your lines again. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more up there. Now we can add some more on the rear. Right, it comes down there. It should be all right. Let's take some. What I use as well is the, as you know, probably the putty rubber. That's really good for using shading and removing excess sort of pencil marks. It just contains all the pencil marks and all the rubbish. There we go, just a quick wet. So what we're doing, we're just absolutely getting the shape at the moment. So this is the stage when I look back at it and say, what's it look like? How have we got the shape? Yep, shapes like that, shapes like that. Not added the wheels yet. I'm just interested in the lines, the sweeping lines. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Actually, you can just 1-2 wipes. We can make that a little bit thinner, shall we? To me, that looks a little bit. There we go. Once you've done your drawing and you're happy with it, we can add little bits and pieces and all the detail. You've got to be happy with the sketch to start with. Quite happy with the wing form as it coming down here. It's a bit forward there than it is there, so that's forward there. So we got that okay. Now we've got the shape, the wheels. Let's do the wheels. Where they come from, I would pick a line there, which is there on my little cockpit. There, and it nearly sweeps down at that angle, doesn't it? So there we go. We can sweep a leg there, just little flicks. And that's about halfway in there. So if we just do it that way, it gives you an insight of how your drawings, how accurate your drawings is. There we go. I'll just add the shape. There we go. Little shape, it doesn't really matter. Comes down about there. Now, this is quite good because you've got your markers there, haven't you? The fuselage and your boss there. So we can easily go from there. So we're starting point to be there. And there. So it should meet up. These are just little flicks with your pencil, not really hard lines. What we're doing is just getting your shape. So I'm quite happy with that. It's coming down there, like that, and yeah, that looks quite good. Yeah, that's okay. Right, there we go. My 4B, trusty 4B. Now what I use sometimes is good. What I've got here, so I don't know if you can see, is a diagram. This is actually the Miles Hawk Major. This is a two-seater. This is a single, but it's the same design, I think. You've got all the lines and all the marks on the fuselage and the panels and everything like that. So if it's not on the photograph, you can go to the diagram and pencil them in, because sometimes the whole fuselage is black and you've got, well, it's a deep blue really, but you've got a shade where the light's coming from, which is really important, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's just coming from that way, I think. So that half's going to be light, and that's going to be black. And there's a nice little shading of the wing there in the fuselage. So notice all your light, even with drawing and painting, is really, really important. So what I'll do, now I use a little bit of cross hatching there, and I'm not going to saturate the whole thing in that darkness, because that will take a lot away and it won't look very good. We've had the numerals there, so what I'll do, I'll just do in line with the numerals like that, from where it's supposed to be, from there, just one little line, and that's about in the middle there, which is just about there. Two little lines, just faint lines. Then that way that fades a little bit towards that angle to the fuselage there. Goes like that. Little box So that gives me something to write in the letters. So there we go. Let's put a little, just a little shading on the bottom. Leave that bit out like that. You can make your own light up, actually. It's if you know where the light's coming from, you can experiment with light with different types of shading. Now, I can't really see it there on the photo, but it has a line which is from there, which is part of the cowling. It comes down there at that angle, just a little line. There we go. And there, shade that bit in there. Look. Leave the light. See the light that comes right along the fuse line. So I'll leave the light there because that's my light is the cartridge paper. So that the light's there, the light's the cartridge paper. So I'll leave that as the light. Might do a little bit of sketching along there because there we go. There we go. Now we start to notice where the light falls. That's a nice piece of light down there. So what we'll do, we'll just do that. There we just pick some light up. Do some more of the little pilots there. Now just do the pilot sitting in the seat there. Just pick up some detail. Watch what's going on everywhere. And that comes right round. That comes right round there like that. The darkest is on the bottom. Work from the bottom upwards. So you get that shape. So it doesn't look flat. There we go. Quite happy with that. It's coming on well. What I'll do for the wing is this. I'll emphasize that line there. That is the darkest part of the wing, along with the numerals. So what I'll do, I'll just really give a dark line like that in there, and I'll do the same here on this side. So we're getting really hard with the pencil now. Actually, it shades off a little bit there. I'm not doing the whole wing over there. I'm going to leave that open because it might look good with a shape like that, with the wing leading off without the whole wing being there. So I'll leave that out. The decision I'll make when I'm nearly finished it. Now I'll just take that line down a little bit. It's a bit jaggedy because I'm working at an angle. Now the numerals on the side, they're interesting there because you can look at them, see them as just marks. The A is bent, obviously, to the shape of the wing. It starts at the nose, which is there. So we know we've got a fairly accurate drawing. It ends out there. There we go. Like that. And that's just a shape. Just imagine them as shape, just shapes, and that's not too bad. I like that. There we go. There we go, and that sweeps off there like that. We have an A. Now, and that's right close to your line there. And I'll leave that line open because that's where your light's coming from, and it's really light there. So I'm going to leave that line very faint. So there we go. Got a line there. Comes along there. Not very straight because I'm working at a funny angle here, but there we go. We've got the G like that. Just do some little marks. There we go. You see them. I'll leave that. Yeah, that's getting on very well. Now let's do some more. Let's do the wheel, shall we? No, actually. There we go. Now we've got the hob. That's actually darker than the wheel there, but so we're going to do hard, a little bit softer, which will make that come out. And that's dark there. Once I've done that, I'll move on to this side and move on to that side. So we get an equal balance. So you do one on that side, one on that side, like that, like that. So you get an equal balance. So you get them virtually looking the same, and one's looking the same instead of one going like that, one going like that. So that's how I do it. Now I'm going to move. I think be a little bit braver there. There we go. That's nice because that's interacting with that shadow there. I like that. That's actually not on a photo, but you can discover lots and lots of things when you're drawing. And you can think, well, I'm going to leave that because that's really nice. Not in the drawing, but I'm doing that. Of course, that's all dark. This is all dark down here, and that actually goes. Bits and pieces of. Now, let's do some more. Very delicately. Now what I'll do, I'll just use my HB just to do suggestions of numerals. There we go. That's the P. Now I'll start on the back then. We know it's in the right position, so virtually. So we'll do a G, just little marks. Little marks where the A. There we go. There we go. We've got a D there and a G in between. There we go. They're both straight, so I'll just gap in between so they're all. I'm noticing the colour of the fuselage between the numerals, and I'm trying to scribble those in like that. Just P, and the D, the black, the D, the A, and the G. There we go. Now once we've got, you could spend ages doing this. Of course, there we go. There we go. Actually, I can take my little box off because I'm not. So I know where all the digits are now. The digits all there. They look at coming on like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Right. We'll do the same. I think that's a fuel tank nozzle there. So we do a little, that's there. Now let's do some digits. Same with this side and that side. D starts off where the V is there. So we'll do a D there. That comes to around G. Just keep looking at where your angles are. Look, that's pretty good. Right. What's the G? Just past the G there. Sweeps off G, sweeps off there. So and that should be okay. There we go. That comes off just about the middle, which is quite good. Could be a bit better, but I'm not pretty happy with it. I'll start with the end digit, which is there. That's straight on. So that looks quite good. Nice shape. That looks nice from where I am now. There we go. This is all dark in between here. Right, now let's do a little bit of shape for the tail fin. Just reshape it. Then we'll do the marks in between, which is about there. Another one in the middle, just very lightly, not heavy, but we'll take it with just little flicks. There we go. Now, if we're clever enough, we can do the 8 right there. Start with just a little circle there and a little circle there, which is joined up there. Like that. We've got an 8 there. Looks okay. And let's take a little bit off there. Like that. Let's go like that. There we go. And that line comes. There we go. There's 2. That's on there. Thick lines on the starting line. And leave that to light the light of the page. I don't like that. Let's just, there we go, just clean that up a bit. Yeah, that's coming on well. A little bit more to the digits as we move along. It comes down there, like that. There we go. Right, now let's do some more shading up the top. There we go, just slide very lightly. There we go. Let's move this just a little bit more. I think I'll sweep this off here like that. Yeah, that looks all right to me. Now, it's kind of cockpit is kind of doesn't show much light. I'm not going to overdo it though, because I want the light to come in, otherwise it's not going to look like a cockpit. So there we go. I'll just leave that light on the top. There's the lights hitting the top there. It's coming down there. Just step back and look and think, oh, that's okay. That looks okay. That looks okay. Let's take a little bit off there, make it. There we go. Lovely. Actually, I can use my finger. See what I'm doing here to smudge it in. It blends a graphite pencil in really nicely. You know, so you don't get all these sharp, jagged lines. It just blends in, which is really good. A little bit dark there, so just getting the, when you're moving along, you see the darker pieces. There we go. Well, I think we're going to do, because I think the pilot's face there, that's in shadow. There we go, there's his eye. See, when you do portraits, it's usually do 4 marks. One for eye, one shadow underneath the nose, and one for the chin. So you've got 3 marks. That's all you do. If you're overdoing, I see a lot of artists overdoing faces, which they try to do too much detail and it doesn't look right. That's significant. That is all I need. That 3 marks on his face, which aren't there. Eyes, nose, and probably a little line, the mouth, then the dot of shadow for the chin. And that's it. If you look back, he looks like he's looking at you from there. So, right. I can work on the detail, but on the detail of the numerals a lot more, but that will take a lot more time. That is the biggest thing on these, is doing the roundels and the digits, serial numbers. They take real amount of time if you're doing, leaving the light, and then a little bit of light under there, a little bit of shadow underneath. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Still, we're starting getting really the maximum dark for a 4B on there. You can't get any darker, so that's the maximum. So I'm going to leave light there, just a little light, and it fades off into the light canvas there. So it's really light, and I'm quite happy with that shape for sketch. I think it's okay. There we go. We can do is just bring some of that graphite and rub there, so you get that lovely little round, and it goes straight down. That little round shape there. Actually do it on here as well. Just take the top off. There we go, and rub that way here. See, you get that lovely darker shape that comes around. I could do that on the top here as well. There we go, that nice little, with putty rubber you can see the light that's coming through. Copy, you can use your putty rubber just to take another bit of light. There we go, that's really nice. That needs a lot of work doing to it on the digital, on the digits. And, they're coming on. I don't think I've got enough time to do them. Otherwise, yeah, do a bit at a time. I need this now. We've got an intake on, just about to see it there, which is just about there. We'll do some more detail showing. There we go. There's a little round there. It comes to about there. Now that comes just slightly around there. There we go. So that's all in shadow. Now we got some intakes there. Now, just underneath, just a little bit more detail, sweep that there, so we get that little gap there. Looks nice. That's shaping up very well with fuselage, the edging compartment. Got a little, I've no idea what it is actually. I'll have to probably consult Kevin.
It's the airspeed Venturi.
Oh, is it?
That okay. Gives you your static pressure.
Ah, thank you, Kevin. There we go. There we go. Now they should all add up. There we go. There. Just have a look. It might be a little bit out, but I'm not. Can move it a little bit back, and I'm not. There we go. Little bits and pieces. Over to you again, Kevin. Are these the exhausts? Sorry.
they are indeed the exhausts.
I thought they
were. It's a straight six engine up front. So
excuse
nice
my
short exhausts, gives it a nice crackly sound.
Yeah. Now I'm going to outline that mark a bit because we're getting darker here. And that'll emphasize the whole thing. Now, we've got 6 there, so what I'll do the one nearest to me, which is there. There we go. And the other one, I'll do the one right at the end, which is about there. Shall we go? Right, there's 2. So we've got to get 1, 2, 3, 4 between. So I'll do 1, 2. See how I'm not doing that? There we go. So you get the equal distances. Do 1 at one side, 1 at the end, 1 nearest, and do over there. So you're working yourself on both sides to the middle. Then you can get everything. If you do 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1, there's 9 times every 10 you're going to go too far. If you start here with digits, with the serial number, sorry, like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could squeeze them all together because you know your drawing area. There we go, 3 on, 3 on, which is quite good. Now, so we just want to emphasize nice little it's difficult to draw this because it's a funny little angle for me. The light is coming through there, through the strut there, so we'll leave that out there so it doesn't actually have anything there at all, so it's just a gap. There is darker light there, darker light which is nearly the same color as that, but there we go. This, just sweep your lines like that. Actually, we'll just really do, because that's all in light. Just a little do a crosshatch like that. Little crosshatch, because the strength of the light is coming down that side. Just crosshatch instead of 1, 2, 3. Cross, 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 cross. There we go. You can use the same on that. Now, there we go. Now that actually sweeps right into there, the light. So there we go. It's a bit darker under there. Light's coming down there. It's noticing the light, where it comes from, and what it's doing, and how it gets there, and what shades of light. This is what it's important to get strength of your pencil. So I can use the really light strokes on the lighter density. So there we go. Actually, we could use a little bit of, there we go. Actually, it looks really nice. I've just noticed on this a little bit of light coming through there. Now we've got a little eagle there, or a little bird, and there we go. You could just do that. Make sure you've got a sharp pencil. I think this one is sharp enough. Or I can use my, yeah, I'll use my 3B on that. There we go, just little eagle. And there's this. There we go. Have a look at the drawing. See, we've got a, where it opens there, a hatch. There we go. Let's do, keep in line. There we go. Just a little hatch there, should we do? Not on the drawing, but there we go. Nice little hatch. I like to get out of. We've got another line behind there. I've got one that goes right to the centre of the fuselage. But what I'm doing very faintly, then leaving off, just do a faint line. It's one of the darker lines, probably the light's catching the darker lines and fading it out. So, and that, see the casing. I do believe it comes around there. It goes to the center line like that. Then it comes, sweeps out to there like that. Okay. And the center line goes straight through to there. There we go. Well, that's pretty good. We've also got a line on the top, going from the drawing here. Or you can, with a detailed drawing, you can just add what you like. If it looks good, it's got to be good. See, I've left all that in light, because if I start doing everything, all the colour, all the darker colours, it's going to take a lot away. So the darker there, darker tones, just keep going dark, darker, darker underneath there. This noise is coming on well. Perhaps emphasize the 8 a little bit stronger. There we go. There we go. Just take your excess. There we go. Your little putty rubber. Yeah. There we go. Feed that in a little bit. Now, let's do obviously spinning. Let's see what we can do with the putty rubber. Let's, because it's spinning this way, the prop. Let's get your putty rubber, do a little thing like that. And get your finger like that. Just give it a little rub. Give it an impression that gives you an impression that the spinner is moving, and because it's moving, the light integrates with the dark as well. You see that there? So we'll take that off there actually, because it's all behind the spinner, because it's rotating. All indicates movement. So much you can do. we go. There's more work on the digits, but I think that's getting for a sketch. Quite happy with that. Now that took about an hour to do, but you could spend so much time. I spend sometimes 3-4 hours on a sketch. There's so much to see, so much to do. But you can do one in about half an hour now if you're sketching on site. Then take your ideas down and perhaps do a painting. You get a lot of ideas looking at different lighting techniques and things like that. But yeah, let's just a couple of, there we go. I'll do. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah. Just give it a signature. There we go. Okay. I think that's okay. I'm quite happy with that. Just take some. Okay.